Welcome to this week's episode of
The PDX Life.
We are your hosts, Tamara Stone and
Tara Stone.
Oh my goodness, did you ever think it was going to happen? Well, it did. So, what are we talking about this week?
So this week's episode is sort of a special one to us. We wanted to talk about our favorite place to live in the Portland area because we both just recently moved and a lot of people are moving right now, so we just thought it would be a good video, talk about the different sides of the river, etc. So stick around. If this is your first time to our channel,
welcome, like and subscribe.
And what we like to talk about is what it's like to live and
work, play, raise families,
and all of that, and move to
relocate
or out of Portland.
Whatever have you. You know what? We want the people who want to live here to live here.
Our neighborhoods and our favorite place to live in the Portland area, because
a lot of our clients are relocating here, moving to this area, and want our opinion because you love us. Like,
all 12 of you. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you don't know, if this is your first video, I'm a unicorn, been born and raised here, moved out a couple times, moved back, transplant, but
yep.
Pacific Northwesterner.
Pacific Northwest. I was born in Seattle. I lived in NorCal for a couple of years, and now I'm back here in the Pacific Northwest in Portland.
We love the Portland metro area.
Like, love it, you guys, so much.
I love it so much like that I moved back to Portland.
We like said vows to Portland.
Oh, yeah.
Through sickness and health.
I said forever just a few weeks ago.
She did, and I'm about to. Speaking of big life changes, within 2022, we both bought new houses and moved to completely new neighborhoods. So with that being said, in 2022, right, we're coming off of the big push, everybody's refinancing, all of the super low interest rates, and now things are shifting.
And guess what? We bought.
Yeah.
During the increases of these rates. So it's something people are doing.
It's still a good time to buy, and there's a lot of reasons.
And we're also helping people right now buy and sell houses in the area.
First-time home buyers, and we have a set of first-time home buyers right now. They have been in the same apartment for 15 years. Such a sweet family. They want to stay in the same school district, so we're helping them. And they're right around the $400,000 mark. They're looking in Southeast Portland, Milwaukee, Happy Valley area. There's a lot to choose from. There's way more inventory than there has been. So,
and we just got under contract actually yesterday with another couple, sub 400, who are transplants. They originated from the East Coast and made their way over here. And just got them under contract for under $400,000 as well in Northeast Portland.
So we talk a lot about the median home prices, and they're closer to the $600,000 and $700,000. Yes, that's true, but right, there's going to be some over and under. And the beautiful thing with Tam and I is we help clients from $250,000 up to $4 million.
You want a condo? You want a townhouse? You want an
investment property? You want an estate? You're a trailblazer? Like, what's up?
You want to live at the coast? You want to live in Southwest Washington?
Or up to Bellingham? Like,
you want to go to Bend?
Let's do this.
Cool. I mean, we'll help you with all of those things. But anyway.
This week, we're going to each kind of tell our story a little bit about where we were moving and what kind of was the catalyst of why we wanted to move and where we moved to.
So, you all have been dying to know how I became a stone. Tara was already a stone.
Yeah.
I married her ex-husband. What? Yeah. So it's a thing. It happens.
We're like all besties. Like legitimately, hashtag co-parenting successfully, hashtag work wife, hashtag
our
whatever.
Wedding.
Yeah, and they're about to be at ours.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's like another video. We should just talk about like successful co-parenting.
Yeah, how does that work? So when Tara and I first met, we were both living in Northeast Portland, just a handful of blocks away from each other.
Yep.
I moved into the house that she and her ex-husband, my husband, bought together in Northeast Portland.
Yep.
And she was just on the other side of their daughter's, my now stepdaughter's, school.
So it's Rose City neighborhood. It's
Rose City Park.
Really cool.
Super cute.
Yeah. Rose City's awesome.
It is amazing. They have great amenities there, great schools, great parks, great neighborhood, great people.
There's a pretty big mix too of like what you have from like multifamily condos up to like the $1 million homes on Alameda. Like So there's a really big,
and there's also
sort of a hodgepodge.
This communal living capability as well that happened across the street, literally from our previous house, and then down the street from there as well, where it's kind of dorm-like, I would say. Each level, there's 3 levels. Each level has a dining room, living room, and kitchen, but then everybody has their own bedroom, bathroom sort of situation. So
it's becoming more common. This came about like 3 or 4 years ago. They started over near Mississippi. Some of the builders were doing it, and the reason they're doing it, right, there's not enough housing.
Not enough housing.
It's a thing. So instead of doing a full single family or a full condo or a full, something like that, they got creative, and it's great. There's positive and negatives to it.
Right now, the one of those bedrooms is like $900 to $1,000 a month.
In comparison to a regular apartment for one person is around $1,500. So there's some savings.
Studios are like just a smidge less than that. Actually, my youngest sister, just started renting an apartment off of 28th and Sandy, 28th and Halsey.
Okay, so like Kearns.
So $1,750 for a 1-bedroom.
Jesus. Anyways,
crazy.
So this was happening in their neighborhood.
Yeah, and so for us specifically, I grew up in Oregon City. Casey, my husband, her ex-husband, loves the woods. And he likes
a lot.
He likes to chop wood, and he likes to have a fireplace, and he wants to ride a motorcycle, and he wants a garage, and he wants a garage.
Yes.
And so I was like, yeah, let's get out of the city.
Bleep out the F-bomb. I can't say that.
Oh, please. So for us, it was like, okay, we've done it. We lived in the city. I lived in Portland proper for 20 plus years. I raised kids in Portland. I have a 23-year-old son. And we were like, well, we want to have the opportunity to now. So now that we're in our 40s and we have the ability to, like, where do you want to live? Let's live where you want to live. Let's just do it. And we wanted to live in a place where you know your neighbors and you can walk outside and just roam around, and you're surrounded by nature. You don't have to go seek it out, and you have a little bit more space. So we have 1/3 of an acre, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, double car garage. And we are in this no outlet area development. It's 3 streets with interspersed between those houses is 20 acres of green space that has bike trails and hiking trails and old growth trees.
Oh, it's so pretty. When you go to the backyard, all you see are trees, and they have this little outlet at the back of their fence. You can go on the trails and stuff like that. And as Tam says, they're only 10 minutes from downtown Oregon City. So
we're
kind of the best
10 minutes
of
from
both.
205. Yeah. So Oregon City, in and of itself, if you look at it on the map, and we'll show that to you, geographically it's very large, and you have the downtown area, which is dense.
They're doing a lot down there.
Cute.
Yeah, they're doing more like fine dining, like Kennard, who has their original shop next to Les Pigeons on Burnside. If you have never been there, oh my God, go.
Super good.
They just opened up a new shop in Oregon City.
On Washington Street.
Washington Street is kind of like the main...
No, Main Street is the main. Washington Street is just 1 street down.
Okay, 1 street down.
It's a bustling little area. Actually, Halloween was just yesterday, and I got stuck in traffic because all of the trick-or-treaters who were trick-or-treating in downtown Oregon City. It was very cute. So in Oregon City, if you don't know, is the end of the Oregon Trail. It was the original capital of Oregon.
The Willamette goes right through it, which is really pretty, really
cool. And there's
cool.
Willamette Falls, which is actually the highest by volume waterfall in the United States.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's a municipal elevator where you can go up and
it
see.
looks like an alien ship. It's super
looks like a mushroom.
Yeah, or a mushroom, yeah.
And then there's also the interpretive center there that tells you all about the Oregon Trail and all of the things. So super cool. So what I was trying to say is that in Oregon City, because it is so big, you have city, suburb, and rural areas within all of Oregon City. So you kind of get to choose. And then the median home price is slightly lower than Portland itself. Portland is $617 right now for a median home price, and then Oregon City is $610. Yeah. So there's a little bit of that. The population, however, is way less. So I think we just did a video where the population was about 650,000 of Portland, And in Oregon City, it's 37,000. So
you get a lot more space, more bang
difference
for your buck if that's kind of what you're looking for.
Some of the schools have just been revitalized and have had a lot of money dumped into them. So a lot of the schools are really new.
Thank you, lottery.
It is predominantly made up in more of the suburb areas of young families and professionals, because they don't want to live necessarily in Portland proper. They want a little bit more space and a little bit more autonomy, and it does tend to lean a little bit more towards the conservative. But every 10 years, the urban growth boundary continues to expand. So every 10 years, as that expands, then the suburbs get a little bit bigger and the rural area gets a little bit smaller. And I think as that continues, we'll probably see the pendulum swing a little bit away from the conservative and a little bit more, So we'll see how that goes.
Towards the middle. And then something to note too about the Oregon City area we talked about, we did a deep dive over in Milwaukee, which is close. So in Oregon City, there is some new construction going on. So it's important to know that yes, there's some bigger lots and things like that, but they also want to see some growth out there. That's why they're kind of bringing in some of the fine dining and doing the highway expansion and things like that. So you can get a beautiful home there with a larger property. New. Yeah, still at a quote unquote affordable rate. So depending on what you're looking for, I mean, Tam definitely has pulse on what's going out in the Oregon City area.
And so when I grew up there, I grew up on the boundary of the rural area before it turned into this tiny little hamlet called Malino. And when I say hamlet, I mean hamlet. It's not even a town, it's a hamlet. And then the hamlet next to it is Beaver Creek. And then there's another bigger area that is considered a town city, and that's Canby.
So when you go and you look on the road sign, it was like this one and that one. So it says Malino, Beaver Creek, like all in one row.
And you blink and you get through Malino.
And you're there. Yeah.
I went to Malino grade school, which was a K through 8, and it only had 2 of each grade. So I had 2 kindergartens.
I wish it was so K
through 2 first grade, 2 sixth grade, 2, and then once you got to 6th grade, we still only had 2 6th grades. But once you got to 7th and 8th grade was like you actually changed classes and things like that. And then we went to Molalla High School. I didn't go to Molalla. I ended up moving out of the area, moving to Tigard, and then to Hawaii, and then back to Oregon City, and I went to Oregon City High School. But it is a great area. I love it. We share custody of their 11-year-old daughter, and she goes to school out there with us at this beautiful brand new school called Tumwata, which is amazing. Tumwata. And which is an interesting phenomena that we're seeing all across the nation, but a lot of things that are happening here as name changes. So it was previously named Ogden, and it's now turned into Tumwata. So there are a lot of those progressive sorts of things that are happening in this area too, not just for dinner.
For my side of things, I'll just talk about the last 2 years. So was in Rose City, and then decided to purchase a home that we were going to turn, my partner and I wanted to turn into a rental property. So we actually kicked out to the very outskirts in East County to Fairview, which is like Gresham, Fairview area. So if you go to Mount Hood ever, if you like to ski or hike, or you want to go to Bend or anything, you're gonna go you're gonna go right past that. It's beautiful. There's bigger lots out there. We ended up in this really cute little cul-de-sac. It was all mid-century modern. So we were in that home for about a year and a half or something. And then we just moved into our new place over in Raleigh Hills Garden Home area. So it's on the west side of the river. So I've now lived in most of the quadrants in the Portland metro area. One of the reasons that we wanted to move over to this side was because they had moved, right? So we're talking, this is the video about our lives and what had happened. So my partner's kids are more in the Hillsborough area, and they're in Oregon City. So we wanted to sort of like meet in the middle. Any of you have been divorced and have blended families, like these things are really important.
So important.
For a lot of reasons. And we like to be real with you. We want to talk about really what's going on. So
there's like a really good split between us. So it's not just like, oh, we're dividing and conquering, but it's equitable split between like parenting time and things like that. So we're all trying to make it so we're like, okay, well, where are you moving? Well, where are you moving? How do we do this? And how do we like make sure we're meeting in the middle somewhere to make it as, equitable and charitable. And good
this
for the kids
is
too.
and really, yeah, good for the kids. So this is we're gonna get real in this video. So the west side for me, I really was sort of against it because I had only been to the far west side, and I was like, I don't want to be where there's just only big box stores, and it seems so generic. The place that we ended up in, Raleigh Hills Garden Home, is absolutely not that. I'll do a pan and show you. My house basically is surrounded by trees. We're in a beautiful development. It was established in the 70s. So like you have the beautiful, large, funky homes, which is perfect for our blended family.
Homes, absolutely.
As you can see, we have a library behind us, which is awesome. They just put in a Trader Joe's down the street, which we love. There's a grocery outlet close by, New Seasons. But the one thing I wanted to point out was the community center. This is important for us because we all are very active and like to do things. So we were at the gym.
Her fiance is swimming right now.
Oh, he actually is, yeah. So we had joined up to LA Fitness, and it was like $50 each for just the two of us. Go to your local community centers. Our family of 5 gets to go in for $66 a month. It's a huge cost savings, and we're supporting the local community.
Which is huge.
It's just really, really amazing. So moving over to this side, we also know our neighbors. Like we kind of get that benefit of having, we are in the suburbs. It's not necessarily walkable, though there are things nearby.
We have walking trails.
Both
of us have walking trails, so that's
and
walkable.
Biking and all of that. But it was important for us. When you have families, right, you want to make sure that it's somewhere that feels safe to you. So over on this side, she talked about the schools a little bit. We have A-rated schools. Population is like 51,000. Home prices over here are going to be a little bit higher at around the $700,000 range. However, you can still find things in the 5 to 550 range. It's just kind of depending on what you're looking for. So it's been a great move. We're really happy about it. We're right outside of Multnomah County in Washington County, and that was also important to us because of property taxes. So if you are unfamiliar, we love Portland, but Multnomah County taxes are just really expensive, ranging from 1 to 3%, usually not up to the full 3%. We're right at about 1% right now. So if you're buying a house, you're moving from somewhere else, all of those numbers tend to add up. So
we've done it. We lived in the city, and we love living in the city, and it matched our lifestyles at the time, which is why, obviously we never judge anybody. We want to help everybody get into the perfect home that they're looking for.
Everybody's in different life stages too.
But we have a well-rounded idea as to, because we've lived in so many different places and we've helped so many people relocate to all of these different places as well. And that's why we ask, it's a really important thing for us to always ask, well, what's your why? What's your motivation for moving here? What's your lifestyle? And how can we help you find the best area for you? For some people, it's gonna be Portland proper. For some people, they don't have a car. They want the public transportation. They want walkability to get groceries. They want walkability to go to a food cart pod, all of those things. Awesome. We can help you with that. But also for us, we just made the decision that now our families are larger.
It's like the full frontal.
And a little bit older. And we did that. We did the thing where we're like going out all the time and going out to eat all the time. And now we're like, okay, well, we're kind of, I don't want to say we're old. We're settled.
We're not old.
We're a little bit more settled. So it's important for us to cook family meals and have family meals together and have places where we can be like, kids, go fucking outside and play.
We have rompus rooms, you guys. That was in our haves and wants list when we wrote it up for the home that we were going to buy, and we would have you do that too if you decide to work with us.
Absolutely.
Actual have to have was a rompus room, and that means the kids have their rooms, we have our room, but there's an additional room that they can go into, and they can be rowdy and horse around and play. They can play video games if they want. We just got an Oculus, which is super cool if you'd like to do the VR thing. But we want the kids to be able to be the kids, right? And then we want to be able to have our space and do that.
Yeah, for us, we were in a place, Casey is a really handsy dude, and he likes to fix cars and bicycles. Handsy? Oh, handsy, yeah. Well, that's handy.
I think she meant handy, you guys.
I mean both. But anyway. He didn't have a garage. He didn't have a garage at our last spot, so it was really important to him that he got a garage. We got one of those. It was important to us that we at work had a bit of land, and we wanted 4 bedrooms. And our house is not dialed in by any means, and we're gonna be able to put our own.
But you wanted that. You wanted. You also wanted
to be
that.
able
yeah.
to be able to like. It's a 70s split level, which
you
I
guys,
love.
we love this. We're from the 70s.
Yeah, and we wanted to have a wood burning fireplace. We didn't have that in our last house. Now we have two, one on each level on either sides of the house. So depending on where we are,
bound chicka bound now.
yeah, right? I love being able to light a fire at night when it's raining. We just wanted to be able to allow our daughter to walk outside and be like, I'm gonna go for a bike ride, and not have to be like, okay, well, let me change all my clothes and put on my shoes and get on my bike and
wear
do all
this
these things.
Like helmet and have like a GoPro, and like we needed GPS you. Like everything's just a little more like slowed down, and
there's that as well. I think living in the city, you have the hustle and the bustle, and you're always like, oh well, this is going on and this is going on, which is great. We loved it.
We're not far from the city though. That's the main. I think that's one of the main things. So,
and that's what people said, that we moved in 4th of July weekend, and the whole cul-de-sac was like, hey, come celebrate with us, come up the way, we're gonna shoot off some fireworks, like have a good time, we're all gonna get together. We got to meet all of the neighbors, we got to meet all of the kids. 30 minutes from the freeway, we're 45 minutes from Mount Hood, we've got the downtown Oregon City. We were equidistant between downtown Oregon City and Happy Valley. Like, you get to make all of these decisions about where it is that you want to go in any given moment. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Portland. Even though there are a lot of people moving in here, which is great, the diversity just means that there's more diversity that's happening.
Yeah, which we love.
It's not California where you're having to drive 2 hours to get somewhere. You're not having to commute for 4 hours to work, any of that stuff. Everything is at the ready. You're so close to everything, no matter where it is that you live, unless you live like seriously in the sticks.
One other thing to note, if you are, looking for jobs like Nike, Intel, any of those things, those are over on the west side. There's a lot of like commerce and things that are happening outside of the city, and then a lot of people who are moving from home.
Moving from home?
Oh, to work from home.
Oh, okay.
They're moving out of where they are. Sorry. Anyways, I think we can wrap up.
I think so.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking around to the end, you guys, and listening to our tangents.
Listen to this. I think it's important for you guys all to know who we are and where we've been and where we come from, and all of our thoughts, and so that you connect with us to know whether or not we're somebody who you might want to have to help you when you relocate here.
Yep. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Like, share, subscribe, do all those things.
Comment, call, text. Our phone number is below. If you have any questions, you're looking to move here, we're happy to help.
Have a great week, guys. Until next time, peace.
Adios, motherfucker.